Today, I'm going to take you guys along with me while I build up more guild islands and upgrade houses and guild halls and do laborers and all of that kind of fun, boring stuff. Let's get into it. First things first, I'm on this alt character that I haven't played in years, and I've given him 2 million silver, and we're going to go ahead and create a guild. I've called the guild Red-Pilled Chads. This guild only costs 7,160 silver. This may cost you 1 million silver when you do it, because in a future patch, the price is going up, so I'd better do it now. And, well, what? That's funny. Look at this bug. It says it costs 7,160 to make, but it really cost 100,000 to make. That's the discount price, so I'm paying 92,000. Well, it's still 9 times cheaper than, 9 times cheaper than what it's going to be. So there we go. I've created a guild. Awesome. Let's go ahead and head to Bridgewatch, and I want my guild located in Bridgewatch because that's where I do all my stuff. I don't want to buy the island when I'm anywhere but Bridgewatch, because that's where I want my island to be located. Because that's where I live, that's where I skin, that's where I do business at the market. So we're going to go to the island vendor, and we're going to click the second tab. And it's going to cost 100,000 to buy the first guild island. There we go. Oh, I've got to put it in the guild account. So I'm going to push G, and then I'm going to deposit just a bunch of money. There we go. And now I can buy it. And there we go. We have level 1 guild island. But I want the level 2 guild island for 200,000. It's going to take me a few minutes to be able to buy this. Oh, wait, never mind. I guess they fixed that. Do I want a level 3 guild island? Well, here's the thing. I kind of want level 3 guild islands across all my characters. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. And this... Oh, I got to wait 2 minutes. There it is. All right. On second thought, I've decided not to upgrade my islands to level 3 because it's more economically viable just to keep them at level 2 and make more guilds instead. And here it is. We're on the Red-Pilled Chads guild island. There is nothing here. It is a complete blank slate. We're going to build a big old guild hall and 3 houses and fill them with furniture and laborers, and it's going to be awesome. So, first and foremost, this character is no longer necessary. He's bought the island, he's got everything ready. We spent about, what, 1 million it looks like? I had 2 million on this character, now he's down to 1 million. So there we go, we've spent some money. Now it's time to give access to everyone here on this. Okay, now all that's left to do is give my Swole Benji character access to this island, and to do that, there's like a little parchment on a board here towards the travel planner. It's right here on the map. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to set it to custom mode, which it's already set to custom mode, and then I'm going to go to co-owners and type in Swole Benji. There we go. And then I'm going to save it, and now that character can access this island. Now it's time to do some construction on that new guild island of ours. We need to build 3 houses and 1 guild hall, and here are the materials that we will need. At the bottom is the total 3,600 rough logs, 360 rough stone, and 1,440 tier 2, 3, 4, and 5 stone blocks. Let's go ahead and purchase those now. I've bought the materials, and I am sad to say that I lost part of this footage. I wanted to go over the total cost of buying, the guild and the guild island first off, which was around 400,000. Now, next patch, buying a guild will cost 1 million instead of 100,000. So, unfortunately, the cost is going to go up. But here, I've got all the materials listed. Here's the silver that I just spent, 881,302. So far, I've spent 1.28 million in silver. Next patch, this will cost 2.188 million. So the sooner you do this, the better, because it's only going to get more expensive. Now, as far as construction goes, it's much easier to build these with the character you plan to use it with, because Swole Benji is the co-owner of this island now, and I build the houses. The Swole Benji character will be in charge of the houses and guild halls, because this is the character I will use to turn in the laborers and journals and stuff like that. I'm going to push the H button to access the build menu. Click house tab right here at the bottom and click house, and then I'm going to put a house down there, and then I'm going to upgrade it to tier 2. There we go, it's a little tier 2 tent. Let's go ahead and click this little parchment and click upgrade, and then begin, and then we click these buttons. Now it's tier 3, and then we're going to do this again. Now it's tier 4, and one last time, upgrade to tier 5, and ta-da, we've done it. We now have a tier 5 house, which we can put 3 laborers in. We'll get the furniture and all that kind of fun stuff later, but for now, let's just finish building the houses on this island. Let's build the guild hall. It's the same way. We push H. We click the house icon, we click guild hall, and then we click build when it turns green. There we go. Fill it all up, and it takes a little bit longer because it's bigger. Click the parchment, click upgrade, click begin, and same deal. Putting all the resources into it. Our character makes a weird little animation. It's kind of interesting. He's it's like he's reaching into it. He like pulls it out of his pant leg, his pocket that he doesn't have, his skin pocket. That sounds dirty, but here you go. You can watch the animation again. Let's zoom in. I want to zoom in on this one. Look at this animation. It's just goofy. It's like, okay, he reaches and then he hands it over. He's handing over the stone to the parchment, and ta-da! Tier 5 Guild Island complete. So there are 2 more housing spaces. I'm going to do that off camera real quick. And there we go. We have all the houses placed down. They're all empty though. Now what's next is furniture. Each house needs 3 beds and 1 table. They all must be tier 5. And then our guild hall will need 15 beds and 3 tables. So there's a few ways we can do this. We can make new characters, let them sit for 3 days, and then focus craft beds and tables, which is the cheapest way. Or I could just go buy them, or I can craft them without focus. It really depends. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do here, so I'm going to need to do some math to find out just how much more expensive things will be depending on how I do them. So I'm going to go do about 30 minutes of math and I'll be back. Alright, here is the mountain of math. I have the cost of the beds and the cost of the tables. I have if you buy 24 beds. I have the cost of the planks and the cloth. Then I have the returns if you non-focus craft it, which is 1 plank, 3 cloth for a bed. The fee to craft, I have the total cost to craft 1 bed, the total cost to craft 24 beds. Then I have the total crafting cost of focus crafting the beds. And then I have, if you focus craft 24 beds cost. And then I also factored in filling 8 Tinkerer journals and their sell value of the journal. I did not calculate the value of turning the journal into a laborer. But if you focus if you focus craft the 24 beds, it's only 194,000 versus 395 if you buy the beds. And then, of course, the final cost, if you non-focus craft it, is 328,000. So by focus crafting the beds on a character that you make and let sit for 3 days after 15 minutes through the tutorial, you save 133,000. So what this means is that if 15 minutes of your time, really it's like 10 because you AFK the last 5 so you can leave the island. So if 10 minutes of your time is worth 133,000 silver, then it's best to make an alt character, get it through the tutorial, get that 3-day premium ticking and let it sit for 3 days so it has 30,000 focus. And then I compared if you just buy the beds versus if you just non-focus craft them, which is only 67,000. So if the time it takes for you to go buy the materials and then craft them and then fill the journals up and stuff like that is, you know, worth more than just buying the bed and being done immediately, 67,000 silver. I mean, for some people that's nothing. For some people that's a huge amount of silver. For me personally, it's not a huge amount, but I do have a lot of alt characters that just have 30,000 focus, so I think I might be focus crafting. I just want to snapshot this real quick. So the total spending if you just buy the beds and the tables and everything we've done so far for a single island up to tier 5. This is why I never recommend tier 5. I always recommend tier 3 because tier 2 journals just return more. And you can just get more of them in general. But anyway, I'm going for a different route. And I've done this a long time ago before I downgraded years ago, but I'm re-upgrading once again. So far, 1.9 million spent. This would be 2.9 million when the patch comes out because it will cost 1 million per guild now. So yeah, it's kind of expensive. You can grow the laborers to tier 5 pretty quickly in like 7 to 10 days. So it's really a non-cost, but you could just buy them. 24 gamekeepers would cost you about 530,000 silver, so it's not a big deal. But the gamekeeper like trophies and stuff, that's probably going to run you another 500,000 or so. It really depends on how expensive they are. Every market is different. When the game first comes out, they're going to be very expensive for the trophies, but you can always just skin and farm the journals for the trophy journals and then get the trophies yourself, so it's also a non-issue. So at this point, I'm actually going to diverge because I need to craft 215 beds for multiple islands, and how many tables? I have it written down. I need to craft 54 tables, so I'm going to work on that now. And that is why I have almost 2.47 million worth of planks and cloth in my inventory, which I will be now transferring to focus alts to craft. And then I'm just going to buy the rest because I don't want to wait 3 days. I want to get this video done today. And here I am on the Best Start 2023 character that I used for a video back in January. He has 29,999 focus. I've already given him access to my personal islands and a chest with everything he needs. He also has some silver left over that I didn't transfer back to my main characters when I was done filming that video. But otherwise, you would have to give them some silver so that they can pay the crafting fees at the public benches. So I'm going to go in here, and interesting enough, he's not high enough level to use a high level ox, but holiday mounts that you get for, the end of the month rewards, like this terror bird and whatnot, you can ride those anytime on any character without any kind of requirements. And the grizzly bear has the most carry weight, so I just took a grizzly bear and threw it in the chest because it has a lot of carry weight. I've given him the grizzly. I've given 81 tinkerer's journals to him. I'm going to give a stack of planks, and I gotta summon the bear so I'm not overweight. But a couple stacks of cloth, a stack of planks, and he's good to roll out and craft a bunch of beds and put them back in that chest. And I'm going to do this 3 more times. So I'm going to the tool maker to craft the beds now. You see we got Gatakatcha with 345, Prime G with 345, Danks with 350. That's kind of a drug name. And then we have Querju with 340. So this is the cheapest bench all the way over here. It's only 5 silver cheaper than Prime G. I like Prime G's name better than Kata whatever that is. So I'm going with Prime G. Yeah, it's more expensive. It's 5 silver, guys. 5 silver is nothing. Also, it's closer, but Prime G sounds like a top G to me, so that's where we're going. And this is what it looks like, okay? We're going over to the tool maker now to craft these beds. We're focus crafting. We go to the furniture tab and we go to the tier 5 beds. We're going to hit that focus button, and we can only craft, it's like 32. Yeah, 32 beds. Okay, and there we go, using our focus. And we're going to fill up some of these journals. Right now, everything in my inventory is worth 2.14 million, and we just paid 11,000. Okay? And watch this 2.14 million jump in value over time. Now, this is going to take some time, but hey, I wanted to show you that I'm not skipping anything. I'm not pulling your leg here. This is a legitimately kind of a way to make money. It's kind of a lame way to make money, but it is possible to make money this way. You just have to hope the beds sell, the lazier people, or people don't watch this and do it themselves, because it's way cheaper just to do it yourself. It's like, why would you go to the store and buy a bed when you can just push a few buttons and craft it yourself? Oh boy, and now I actually plan to use these Tinkerer journals on Tinkerers. I have plenty of islands full of them, so they're gonna get nice and used, and it's gonna be great. They're gonna make me some money back. But in the meantime, let's craft these 32 beds. That's gonna empty out this character's focus. And I said I had 3 more characters, but I only have 2 more characters. Apparently one of them didn't have enough focus. And there we go. We filled 12 journals. We got our beds. And now we're up to 2.49 million in item value. So we just made 300,000 with a click of a button. Isn't that magical? I'm off to craft more beds. Now this character doesn't have enough money, but I did sell the other characters silver for gold, and now I'm going to now sell that gold for silver. And there we go. That should allow us to do our next set of crafting. Easy peasy, no need to use another method for silver transfer, which I have videos for on my channel, by the way. Just search it up if you want. Well, I was only able to craft 91 beds with that focus on those characters. I didn't have any more focus characters at the ready. I thought I had 6 more, but it turns out I used them for something else. Oh well, I'll just have to non-focus craft it to get this video done, but normally I would just make more focus characters and let them marinate for 3 days and then do it, but I have a video to make. Okay, we've got the furniture, let's decorate the house now. I'm going to go ahead and place the table down first by clicking the table, clicking place. I'm going to rotate it by holding shift and mouse wheel, that way that looks good to me. Go ahead and place that down. Awesome stuff. Alright, now we're going to place the beds. I like the beds to be facing this direction. That's just how I put them in all of my houses. And all next to each other so people can roll around on each other. You never really see the laborers sleep in their beds. But whatever, now they have 3 beds. And we're going to go ahead and place down the trophies now. These are called generalist trophies. You can buy these for like as cheap as like 15 silver each. They're super cheap. And if you're on the new server, the East server, you have to grow these using generalist trophy journals to a laborer. So I'm going to go ahead and place the tier 2 just in the corner. Tier 3. Now each house only needs 1 because 1 trophy journal is good for 3 laborers, okay? That is 2, 3, 4, and then of course tier 5. And then whenever we decide what laborers go in this house, we will get those specific trophies for that. So like a gamekeeper would use gamekeeper's trophies, which are like mounted animals on, you know, like a mounted head of an animal. Whereas a fishing trophy will be a mounted fish on a plaque. They're all different every time, but it increases their happiness, so it increases their yield. But for now, this is a basic house setup, and we're pretty much good to go. Now we're going to do the same thing for the guild hall, except the guild hall, because it's tier 5, it can hold 15 laborers, so it needs 3 tables and 15 beds. So let's go ahead and put down the 3 tables. I'm going to just kind of line up the tables like so. There's 1 table. Is that lined? Yeah, I think that's lined up. I don't know. It looks right to me. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't really interact with them. You let your OCD go crazy. And then 15 beds, which I'm going to skip for you guys. There it is. 15 beds have been placed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 15. Now we have to place 5 of each trophy because 1 trophy feeds 3 laborers. Well, not really feeds, but it just helps 3 of them at a time. So that's 3 laborers, 6. That would be 9. And then 12. And then 15 for the tier 2. And I'm going to repeat this for tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5. The trophies are now placed, and again, once I decide what kind of laborers I'm going to put in here, I will then get the appropriate trophy. However, refining laborers, as in like tinkerers, blacksmiths, fletchers, imbuers, those kinds of laborers do not have their own trophy journal, so putting them in here would be complete. So there you go, you can't max their happiness at all. That's just how it is unless you do lower tier work. And if any of this laborer stuff is confusing to you, this is not really a laborer tutorial video, this is just me doing construction. If you want to learn more about laborers, please go to my channel, click on my channel name, then go to the search and type laborer or laborers, and there's so many videos that will educate you on this subject, and even though they were filmed a long time ago, they are still up to date and still accurate to today's patch. Now, I have 8 islands that are already tier 4, and what I'm going to do is upgrade all of them to tier 5 now. That is 1 guild hall and 3 houses on each of those 8 islands. And this is what it costs, 10.745 million silver in materials. It's, rough logs, you got the rough stone, the granite blocks are where the real money's at, the tables, like just the beds, 3.8 million, the tables, 1.8 million, each stack of granite is 400,000. And then, the 64 trophy journals, whatever, or just trophies, not journals. But yeah, it's a doozy. It's a little bit expensive, but it is an upgrade, and it's going to take me quite a while to get this done. And that's pretty much it for the video. I haven't decided what laborers I'm going to put in there yet. I'm going to do a lot of research, because I'm trying to figure out just exactly how much, is it better if I gather to get silver and then speed fame farm with a satchel and auto respec? Or should I just fame farm without auto respec and without a satchel in a tier 4 static, and then use those tomes as mercenaries and then use whatever the mercenaries give me to, you know, farm with Satchel. I don't know which one's going to be faster. I know I can definitely fill mercenary journals way, way faster than I can any kind of gathering journal, but I've got to do the research and find out the exact numbers. So that's a video for another time, maybe for members only if it's really juicy, I don't know. But that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little construction expedition. I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. And like the video. I read every comment, so comment if you want. If you want to help me out, click the join button. $5 a month, you get access to private, more personal videos. It's right below this video, the join button, that is. And it's just like on Twitch when you subscribe to someone. It's $5 here on YouTube. You might see that video I was talking about on members only. Maybe. Who knows? With that said, on the right side of your screen is a video you should absolutely click right now. And also there's a video in the pinned comment. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I forget. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Mwah. Take care.